Hey, Whaq. Motherfucker, you used my government name? Let's get a few things straight. First and foremost, red hair, cinephile, girl best friend. Hell, I'm surprised you haven't even mentioned fat. You're being too nice. I know it's to compensate for the fact that you can't really come up with anything new that I haven't heard you say before. Your overworking masochist ass has probably found stress to be a fetish at this point. And yet, somehow, you haven't posted shit on your YouTube channel circa 8 months ago. Shameless plug, Joaquin does have a really impressive spoken word piece called Double Edged, where he tries to articulate what it's like to be frustrated in trying to find the right words. Oh, and edging. He's into double edging, which, case in point, brings us to this position where you have finally found time to watch one of my favorite 2022 films, Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. Yeah, Wankaralalia, keep it in your pants. And I get where you're coming from. When it comes to knowing what it's like to hit rock bottom and finding out that below the nothing is even more nothing, takes one to know one. Right? What I thought was absurd in the first half of the movie was the fact that the quintessence of nihilism and the ever so omnipotent entity of demise and darkness would be an everything bagel? Don't get me wrong, I love me a good bagel. I'm just being honest, you don't exactly think of bagel when you hear the word void. Then again, it does make sense when the film proposes the Chekhov's gun that is the signature Waymond eyeball, which he puts everywhere to make the laundry look happier. Very big, ooh, dad energy. I wish I had a dad. Putting these two objects together, you can see how they contrast in terms of color and symbolism, with the bagel being a darker outer circle and having a white donut hole being the... Yeah, you know what? I do want a donut. Excuse me. Fuck it, we ballin'. Anywho, it references a similar black and white symbol, the yin and yang, which is basically representative of the balance between light and dark energies. Ironically, it is a visual representation of what we look like next to each other, with you being the white passing incel that you are, and me being the morena CSB fine arts major who gets to tell the film bros to go find 500 days of somebody else. In the spirit of indie films, A24 gets it just right this time around. And it's understandable because it's the perfect balance between sadistic and stupid. One part that will always live rent-free in my mind was when the alpha variant of Evelyn's husband, Waymond, has managed to find the quote-unquote right Evelyn because this version is bad at everything, therefore capable of anything. Look at it this way. You don't like this film because of how it gets into the nitty-gritty details of possibilities where things could have turned out well for you. In a parallel universe where fingers could move mountains, your mind would go, what if I unironically liked Trevor Noah? In another life where laundry and taxes were an ideal date, you'd ask yourself, what if I had just found satisfaction and hated myself less? We've had multiple conversations as to what our perspective, our lives would be from this point forward, and how we made the decision to use it as content for a class with a professor who's pulled reverse psychology on you by telling you you looked like shit just to gaslight you into getting more rest. I would know. Gaslighting's like breathing to me. You can't always carry the weight of the world on your shoulders and call it quirky to cover up the fact that existence is pain. I especially found the complexity of the character of Joy to be the most interesting out of all of them, especially because her makeup looks conceptually have some sort of eye drop in them. It's amazing. Joy, as Joe Butapaki, who has felt everything, everywhere, all at once, gains godlike abilities after an experiment gone wrong and uses these to pursue Evelyn in order to show her mom this really cool bagel that she made. At what cost? All the disappointment from being gay, failing her classes, arguing with her Asian mother, is what puts her in a place of having nothing to gain from living. In this case, let me give you a gist. You are the Jobu Tapaki of Jeboy Dizons. It's hard enough being Asian, let alone being Filipino. Add the jump from academic excellence to trying his best, and maybe even a dash of fruitiness. The point is, the movie's too depressingly real to enjoy, simply because it hits home so close that you can hear the voices in your head saying, yeah, it's literally me. We are exactly where we need to be. Sometimes it's a truth that people can't settle with in their journey of trying to seek the great perhaps, the bigger picture. But what say you? Whaq, care to share as our resident Bess who turns up the chauvinist?